What's up, everyone? Hmm, 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 hmm. So okay. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay, from the all-time high, right? Where is the all-time high? This is the all-time high. We are retesting it now. Okay, so from 18451.7, 18451.7, 18451.7. Mhm. 18454. Take B equivalent to 185323. 18523. Exactly. 1811411. 1811411. 1 L 18411. Okay. The Q's 450.65. 450.65. This is a new hour. 15 minutes. The NASDAQ, I'm not allowed to go long, by the way, on the intraday time frame, smaller time frame. 15 seconds till this candle close. What's up, Len Shark? Ah, great. Um, 58. Yeah, it was all short this morning. It took a little bit of scalps from like 10-20 point scalps today. Just I'm just waiting for my swing trade to form. So if anyone missed out on the previous swing trade, so I have another plan for that. Still, it's still the uptrend, but when it's relevant, I'll tell is going to stop if it starts to drop on the higher time frame. So sure, buddy, that's a good thing because it gives with the huge probability. It always has a huge probability, and if somehow you get the patience to hold it with a huge lot, you realize how much is like without some tension. When you buy it at extreme, the market like just moves up. So without scalping here and there and grinding the profits out of the scalps, the swing trades are much better. It's a medium term time frame retracement. So if it exceeds to a level, then I'll tell whenever it's relevant for the buys. So on the we retested the all-time high, moved up, but still this box is supposed to be the end of the retracement. If we move up from this box it's a smaller time frame, so it won't be relevant after some time. So but I'm not allowed to buy it even on a shorter time frame. It's a retracement, it can turn or change the whole trend, so that's why I'm not acting on it. 525. Still, it can move like with speed, it can move up and down, but I'm not buying it for now. It needs to stay up to that point, then I'll be allowed to buy it. It's basically a ranging day with a low volatility, so it gravitates towards the close, previous close now. So that's why it gyrates around close price. The day's close basically. Label, if you mark it from this lines, label. Previous day close. Last day. That yellow label that represents the previous day close. So without putting a line and move like messing up your chart, you can just label it like that and keep an eye on it. This is a daily close. So this close and the QQQ's close have a slight difference. Still, I'm not allowed to go long. It needs to stay strong. At least give me an hourly close or something. So Lenchuk basically whatever consolidation is basically a close of a higher time frame, right? So with the higher time frame close validation, I'm taking making a narrative. It can be seen it as like that. You could say that. It's good for a smaller time frame structure. It doesn't really matter if you're like trade this bull flag to the upside, but I'm not doing that. So I'm trading like the basic market, not the volatility. 4 hours. this is what I mean. You see, it this point, exact point, is the previous 4 hours close. It moved back to that. It's consolidating at this point. So it needs to at least move up and higher, close above at this point. Not necessarily, it doesn't works every time, but I'm using this as a, you can say, okay, for now, because it's somehow relevant in this environment. This is a 4 hours candle. 1 hour. Yeah. So when was the last time you see like a single wick and the price never went down there? It rarely happens. So wicks get filled. In 1 minute. Okay. If it wants, it can easily come all the way back down. And the 50% gets stacked at least. 50%, 50% of what? I don't understand. See, all of this area is filled with a lot of, in a sense, resistance basically. So can trade the smaller time frame structure, but not doing it because I have like other setups. But still, I'm not going long. So 50%. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It depends on the context. No, no, no. Lanshak, it's like as I have the narrative of me not going, in a sense, I'm not allowed to go long because see this as danger, right? So this is something which is constant, right? I cannot do that. I cannot act on it. So what are the other reasons that gives me confirmation towards that side? So it's like I'll make a case for my own self. So it does not really mean 50% or it depends on the context really. Because if you think on of the 50%, you'll set targets on the 50%. So not the ideal way to trade. Okay, so where do I see a problem, right? Like the QQQs. The Qs. 451.29. Okay, where is the reference point that I need the price to stay up and above for me to be interested in basically longs? 451.29. 51.29. 451.59. 59. 55. This whole area. So The price needs to stay up and above this point. Can it do that? Yes, it can, because it's a small time frame structure. But I'm not allowed to participate in longs if it moves up. Short from 18,620. 620. Okay, let's see. Only 15 minutes. What is that equivalent to on the Qs? Or this US 100? Lanchak. 606. My current price is 532. So price needs to move up for me to like get 606. So maybe. I was just thinking that did I play a role in your short or something? because of this box now. So we that's really nice. It's really 450.98, 450.98. 98. This is good then. It's a good thing. I've learned from many people just by being very extremely curious about everything about trading. So it taught me a lot. It's a good way to learn. Okay, so gold. Someone asked me about gold the other day. So this was the price, basically. And I also said, no shorts. That was good. Plus, if anyone wants to know about BTC, BTC, USD Binance. BTC would be just generally keep an eye on this level if anyone is interested. Uh, from 63111, 63111. 63113. Yeah. Two. 63768. 63768. Yep. So just keep an eye on this level. This is really relevant for swings. Uh, if the price comes here, you'll see. As long as above this point, I'm not interested in swing shorts. So really relevant. This is what's holding price. It has been holding price like So keep an eye on this level. There was a guy who asked me about this in the comments about 12 days ago, so I gave this exact, maybe about different, about 100 points or 200 points difference, but this is really relevant, and as long as it in swing shots. So if the price moves below this point, I'm gonna not do anything on BTC. I'm just bullish, generally bullish on a higher time frame. So just take what you get from this. Okay. What's going on our Qs? Have we broken through yet? Are we responding to it? Somewhat. Land shark. Shit happens, yeah. That's nice if you are cutting this trade short, so managing risk is a good thing. Whoops. $318. 2 things can happen, obviously, but either the market is going to prioritize the liquidity runs and move back to this point. That also makes sense, right? Or if the market wants to continue its trend, or can move from this point. This is the extreme. We are at the close on the 100. See this? Standard deviation. I like to use standard deviation projection, and I have 3 points in projections. Standard deviations, yeah, standard deviations and risk to reward are directly correlated. They both are the same thing. So you're using the right tools. Four hours. Back to the close. The whole day would be doji. So hmm. Should at least wait for something like, you see, I'm gonna show you something. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Two things. Why there is a like the if you disintegrate a candle, there are just two things: a wick and a body. On any time frame, you need a close below the wick. Just it happens more often than not. So, and there are some exceptions. But generally, I use a trigger for the I need a close, for example, this relative, not close, the straight at the highs or the lows. Hey corner, what's up, man? So it's a good point, because I use this as an extreme for if I'm trading on a higher time frame extreme. So I'm just looking to buy it at that zone, right? So I'll be using these sort of entry triggers. It saves me from, for example, if the trend is too strong, close above the wick, close above the wick, close above the wick, close above the wick, close above the wick. But it at this point, wick, like a direct close below. For example, no, like this was the close, but we had a wick below. So this would be used like close below the wick. So this is going to be used as a same block, closed above the high, like high of the wick, high of the wick. So for example, if the so this is the least I can do uh, for an entry ticket. Just jumping in is usually not good. I hope it works out for you, Lanshak. I can make a case for that. Uh, okay, let's just hope it comes back to fill this gap. This is imbalanced. This previous 5 minutes candle is imbalanced. So, but volatility is, it's just 8 points, but that would give you a boost. This is the candle. Okay, so the market can come back to this point. Yes, it can. Plus 200. Uh, okay, so You have to, it's like it, don't get strict with this idea, but there are some exceptions to it. For example, direct close below, yes, it can be a good thing, okay, but the market has already been wicked this point. I need a close of the whole block's wick, if that makes sense. And relative closes doesn't really matter. For example, this is the relative close to the wick. uh if there's this was the relative close to the wick, no, need a strong. Okay, so for now, you can see that the price is moving up. Am I allowed to participate in longs? I'm not allowed to. So I have these criterias or central operating procedures that like keeps me with that trend. Only, yeah. So it works until you're doing, like, for example, one to ones. It works good at that way. Okay. Okay, so we came back for the 8 points, right? Uh, Nifty, Nifty. See, this was the candle that was imbalanced. So, okay, so the higher the time frame, the better. Okay, if the price closes below, directly closes below the 5 minutes, okay, then that would be a better confirmation than on a 1 minute, depending on where you are on a higher time frame extreme, right? So the higher the time frame, the better. Okay, so we got a closing above, closing above, closing above, wick. Relative closing doesn't really matter because there are exceptions to it. Obviously nothing works all the time, but you can piece things together. Okay, so if we get a direct closing above, this is an exception obviously, but this was a direct closing above, below, that was a good point. The direct closing, okay, so this would become the dealing range, right? So we fall from this point, this would become the dealing range. Why? Because it comes with experience, because you have to just take the essence of things, not get too precise with it. Okay, so this becomes the dealing range. Then directly closing below the, see, there was already wick, relative closing, but wick was the, can the market move up to this point? Yes. Can it close to this point? Will this still be a dealing range? Yes. So directly closing, direct closing, okay, so this was the first thing. Second thing, so okay, if you move from 1 minute to 5 minute to 15 minutes, like it can get very precise sometimes. Okay, on the cues, for me personally, is the box relevant? Yes, it is relevant. Relevant for what? For this, for example, downtrends extreme. Relevant, today's downtrend extreme is this: if the price wants to move, to break the trend, it needs to move and stay up at this point. Okay, the example would be, for example, if on a 5 minutes, there's a wick, right? Uh, can the market move to this point, close just right at this point, relative difference? That can also be considered as range. It can gyrate around those points. A direct closing would be like, this is a directly closed. Is for example, this is what I'm saying, relative close to the, because there can be exceptions to it. So on a 5 minutes, this becomes the dealing range, and on a 1 minute we gave a direct closing. So okay, so you see this wick, right? Can the market come and close just above this? The market has already been wicked at this point, so it can gyrate around this point. So you can think in these terms and just like go through it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But keep it like that, it's not that fixed. You don't think, okay, it's not working at this point, but you'll see a lot of things where, a lot of times where it works. So don't throw it out if you see it not working. It's just a 10% on your bias or the entry. You already have a bias. Okay, 33, last 30 minutes. Okay, so okay, from 36, 36, 36, 36, 36. Yep. 531. See, it wicked at this point. Okay, so the same thing. 5 minutes. If you go to the 5 minutes, you see how the market first it wicked at this point. Never give it like direct closing below the previous. You're looking at like the like the first previous candle in relation with the time frame. Okay. Five 31. This is where the new hour basically started, but it's the last 30 minutes. If we get a direct closing above that would be considered, but we never gave it like from the to the downside. So, but still this would be a dealing range on a 5 minutes. On a 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. So this can tell me either it's going to be this point to the right point, that's going to be the whole range for me personally, because I'm not interested in longs. So, or the price can move up, then I will not care. If the price starts to move down, it starts to respect this point. That's good. Okay. Okay, so look at this, right? We were 41 seconds till the 5 minutes close. Okay, you see this? We came back for the close. Last 20 minutes. Still, on a 1 minute, we did. So, this is what I mean by relative close. It's not precise. You cannot say कि how many pips. It's just you get the idea when you look for it, right? So, okay. So, there are very few things that can indicate a range. This is one of this point. So, whenever the market is ranging, it would close above this point, then close below the wick, then close above the wick. So if it do this 2 or 3 times on a smaller time frame, I would consider it as range until it breaks. So when will it break? It you should have your own criteria to know, but that usually signifies a range. Okay, the 5 minutes. Can the market like go down and make a wick? Yes, it is. This is what I was trying to say. Okay, okay. Because if I'm holding this criteria, say okay, in mind, so I have my own bias. Okay, what do I need for my entry? Generally speaking. So if you just go with these tools, just these tools, and want to trade these, you are just going nowhere. You should have always have a matlab, your own whole system. This is not a system. This is the things which usually see happening. So 5 minutes. Okay. So from this point to this is a whole dealing range. Can the market up now even on a 5 minutes time frame, right? The market is allowed to move to this point and that point. So it can move up, wick, close, wick. So it expands the range. A direct close on a higher time frame is always good. The higher you go, 15 minutes is the best, basically. Okay, 15 minutes is usually the best for this. For example, if you're trading the trend, the close directly above the close, this is 15 minutes, keep in mind. So direct close above the wick, no wick close to the downside rate. Direct relative close, but it's already an uptrend, so you can use this as a confirmation. Okay, directly close. It moved but never closed directly below the wick. So wick. No closing below, no closing relative. Was it allowed to? Yes, directly close, then it moved. Uh, okay. 45, the last 15 minutes. Okay. So, for example, this is the first time the market came at this point. It wicked at this point. So, from that point to that point, a range was allowed. Initially told KR, this probably going to be a range. It's allowed to close at this point might not give a closing to below the wick. So, okay. I guess it's all shitty from here. We have 13 minutes till the market closes, and it's Friday, and we are closing right where we opened. Previous close, basically. So, still, I'm not allowed to go long. You can chop or move up, but uh, 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 okay. If we get the 7 minutes, 12 minutes, 48. Yes. Hmm. 49. Closing. Yep. Here we go. This is imbalanced. Oh, 50. Macro. So if on a 5 minutes, this is still not considered valid. This is still relative. You can make a case, but this is nice. Chop or move up. What you say there? Oh, I missed your comment. So you went long or short when I'm short again? Okay. Come on. Do your thing. What's happening on NASDAQ? Right at the close, it's gravitating towards the close and the close. I think there is a delay. 53, last 7 minutes. You see, sometimes I get things like this. I drew it, ke yaar, chalo, the market might get rejected from this point, right? For my own confirmation. And it did. But I'm allowed to play on this. No. Interested more in shorts. Yeah. Either do nothing, either shorts until it moves to a level and stay there. But we don't have time, so. Oh, here we go. Here we go. First 5 minutes move like up. Hope you see the range talking about is closed up, like opposite to the trend, diametrically opposite to the trend. In the trend, we get closed above the wicks, and in range, what we get is the closed above the wicks to reverse. So up or below. Last 5 minutes. Come on. Come on. Do your thing. Come on. On NASDAQ. Uh, this is imbalanced. I don't like this. Could be still in 9 points. Yes, probably. It's gyrating around this point. So it left this imbalance right at the previous day close. So, but better to not know. Like, okay. From. Let's go. Let's go. 3 minutes. Okay, it can come back to this somewhere around 4-1. 4-1, 4-1. 4-1 is a problem on a seconds time frame, like just being very getting on a smaller 4-1, 4-1. Yep, in the closing 2 minutes. Two minutes. Come on. Nope. Here we go. Last minute. Come on. It's back to the close. See how this got respected. These are like stupid plays. And the market is closed. Okay. So if we go back and look at the 5 minutes time frame, is anyone still watching? Okay. So this is the post market. We've come back, but you see, this was the relative close on a 5 minute. So this wasn't considered as a good validation against the trend. Okay. So I said, "Kid, this is allowed and this is allowed as a dealing range on a very smaller time frame, smaller respect to the time frame I'm operating on, that is 5 minutes right now. So on a 1 minute, suspected a range at from this point, even when the market like 30 minutes before. So that's better. But my bias was short, so I have to make decisions now. And we are back at this point. Oh, on a 100. Okay. So, okay, guys. Thank you.